YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Dan, and we're back here with another video of greatness. Now, today I'm going to break down what happened during the CPI news event and the trades that I called out. I called out some monster signals today, and I just want to break it down just so you all get some knowledge in and catch the next move yourself. All right, so first things first, the number one thing that you want to do when you're trading CPI, you want to understand inflation rates. And so all you have to do is go on Google and do it like this. Just type in CPI. Once you type in CPI, right, it's going to tell you what's going on with inflation. Is it going to rise or is it going to fall? Now, this is another thing too you also want to realize this. When inflation, excuse me, is rising, look for sales. And if inflation is being lowered, look for buys. Now, what I mean by look for sells and look for buys, anything going against the US dollar is going to buy if inflation is lowered. So I'm going to write that down for you all real quick. So if inflation is lowered, that means that anything versus the US dollar is going to buy. And if inflation, oops, write that in wrong. And if inflation is going to rise, that means anything versus the US dollar is going to sell 1,000%, 1,000% each and every single time. So that's exactly pretty much what happened today. And also, this is another important thing. Anything going, I'll say, let's say this USD versus something else. So let's say we got USD CAD, for example, right? USD CAD or USD JPY or a pair like that, they're going to sell when inflation cools down. What I mean by it cools down, it decreases. So anytime you have an inflation increase, look for buys if you're trading USD CAD. If you're looking, of course, at Euro USD and inflation is increasing, what are you doing? You're looking for sales. It's exactly what happened right here at 8:30 for good old USD CAD this morning. Price decided to sell its ass off because why? Inflation was decreasing. And I want you all to take a look at the US dollar because it pretty much is in our face. As inflation cools down, what happens to the US dollar? It loses its value. It what? It decreases. That's literally what happened with the DXY. And I want you all to take a look at our friend GBP USD again, right here. As inflation decrease, what does that mean for GBP USD? It's going to what? Buy. So understanding these concepts is going to help you out a lot if you're trading these super high impact news events because you don't want to blow your account. What? Let's say you have some extra capital left over that you don't care about. By all means, why not trade it? But go in with the low risk. Please go in with the low risk. Do not go in expecting to make $1 billion or something very crazy. You have to keep it frugal. Definitely take the trade, execute, get out. Simple. So I want to show you all Euro USD first. So with Euro USD, I noticed how price literally tapped into this order block right here. And we had a great amount of bullish momentum as we see as price is continuously breaking structure. And as it's breaking structure, I noticed how price also rejected off of this order block as well. It had a nice push. And as I noticed price having a nice push, I noticed that price was, of course, pushing it really strong. But take a look what we have right here. We have a weekly high right here that I noticed that has not been taken out just yet. So I was very confident that price was one going to buy, of course, but I also noticed that hey, there's a lot of liquidity sitting up there. So price will most likely want to do what? Take that liquidity out. Because as it takes the liquidity out, it's going to, of course, make even more moves. Because at the end of the day, the market needs liquidity to make its moves at all times. But as we see, we have a nice break of structure. Price breaks past the previous swing high right here on the 15-minute time frame. Then from there, it cuts itself all the way back down to this order block. And as it corrects itself all the way back down to this order block right here, it retests, it rejects, and then from there we get in and we're closing at the weekly high. This was about 6 hours as well. So this was textbook trade. We also had another textbook trade with gold. Now, gold had a nice demand zone, a nice order block right here. Same things again. Same things again. We have a nice break of structure. Price is doing what? Retesting zone and rejecting. So this order block is pretty much turning into support. So as I noticed that, I'm like, you know what? This may be a pretty solid buy position right here. So of course we get in, and then by 8:30, another textbook trade. Clear out this high right here. Then eventually price retested the high and decided to keep on going right back up. And that would have been, oh my goodness. I possibly could have got some more entries, but I'm not a greedy trader. But as we see right here, we got the order block. Price is just retesting the zone multiple times and rejecting. So it's pretty much turning into a support. So from there, it's just all up to us to just take the trade and go about our day. 100%. That's what trading is all about. Just executing your trading plan and going about your day. But with CPI, what you really want to do is you want to figure out, okay, what is inflation? If inflation is rising, then you want to look for sell positions. If, of course, inflation is cooling down, it's decreased, you want to look for buy positions. So that's literally all I did today. Pretty much all I did today was just look for buy positions solely because inflation is doing what? Cooling. And how do you figure out what CPI is going to do? You literally go on Google, type in CPI, and look up inflation. If the inflation is going down, anything versus the US dollar, you're buying. If it's going up, you're selling. And let's say if you have USD JPY or USD Chef or USD Mexican or what other currency pairs with USD in the front versus another pair. Of course, if inflation is rising, you'll be looking for buys because it's correlating with the US dollar. And of course, if US inflation decides to decrease, then what are you looking for? Sell positions. But good old gold and I'll say Euro USD, GBP USD just had some great positions. Great positions right here. I'm not gonna lie. And on this trade right here for GBP USD, I noticed price took out just a little bit of some liquidity. And then from there, we got a nice entry in, and then price just shot up to the moon. And once it shot up to the moon, it literally kept on going. It retested the high right here, and it's still going as we speak. So it'll be quite interesting just to see what GU may do. It may retest this order block right here because this is a nice demand zone as we see. And it may literally retest, reject, and may go right back up, or it may just blast through it and turn that order block to a breaker block. Who knows what price wants to do? Who knows? But overall, pretty great day. I'm definitely glad for all my signal group people definitely taking these trades with me. Definitely my traders trading live with me today. It was definitely a textbook trading day and whatnot. Big gains, only at big money trading. But as we see, it's just all about understanding price action and just understanding the nature of the market. It's going to really give you that edge that you, of course, you're going to really need. Because if you don't understand basic price action, or if you don't have the edge for yourself in general, you're going to struggle trading 100%. That's why I always say it's important that you have a clear edge, a clear trading plan, and definitely every day You go in with the plan. Okay, see a trade, take the trade. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Take it. You never know what may happen. I could have taken these trades right here, and price could have went up to the sky even farther. You don't know. You just don't know what price wants to do because we can't control it. Only thing we can control is, of course, how we execute the trades, how we're feeling, just everything, like things like of that nature, right? That's what we primarily have to focus on. We never want to focus on what the market can do. Let the market bring you the setup. Once it brings you the setup, take the setup, go about your day. 100%. You can't control the shit. There's nothing you can do. Just take the trade, execute, go about your day. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with the trader. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on my Instagram at thoroughbred.dan, and I'll type it down right here. So if you all want to, of course, tap into my Instagram as well, by all means, definitely do that. 100%. This is my Instagram. So if any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. And this is my Telegram right here, Trade 300. So any questions, feel free to DM me anytime. But other than that, hope you all learned something and stay tuned to the next video.